Anyway, next up, we're gonna talk Revolutionary Girl Utena. I can't tell you how long Peter's been like plugging away at this game and like then working on the article and then doing school on top of that. It's just crazy. Like Peter's doing university and he's hitting the books hard. So like his time has been incredibly limited, but he managed to play through this game and write up a fantastic, I might say like the definitive article on this game. You want to know something about this game? What have you played it, Pat?
Yeah, of course. I even have a stream of it. Like the
Yeah, you
I think
do.
I did it about 2 years ago. A full it was a full
Anime
playthrough. I
stream.
can't remember what ending I
Yeah.
got with it.
My
Yeah,
God,
was,
he went whole hog here. I haven't had a chance to read his entire article, but I read enough of it, and it was like classic Peter, you know, just incredibly thorough. So go ahead. What can you tell us about the game and about his article?
All right, so Revolutionary Girl Utena is basically a game based off of the anime of the same name, and I guess extension manga. I thought for the longest time this was a Clamp property, but apparently it's not Clamp. It was by a studio that kind of got inspiration from Clamp in some aspects. But yeah, it's I mean, it's a bit of a sadness. But Peter basically talks about in the article that while the United States we only got like a 1/5 of the library that Japan got, and this is a prime example of the stuff that we've missed, which is a dating sim. And basically, it's like a dating, I guess, a visual novel game where you don't play exactly Utena. You play this girl. I can't remember what her name was or her affiliation. I haven't watched the anime that much, but you basically play as her, and you go through the events. It takes place between episodes 8 and 9, I think, of the anime.
Right.
So it's a short period. It's about 4 days, about a 4-day cycle where you basically are in the school. You meet up with Utena and all the other characters, and then you fight and you struggle against this protagonist, which is she's not in the anime. She actually is a new character for the game called Chigushu Sanjoin. I don't remember how to pronounce her name, but essentially this game is technically non-canon, but it's in that events of Utena the anime. But yeah, the anime follows Utena, which is she's the only girl that wears a male uniform in the academy, and it basically Utena is a whole thing where it crosses the boundaries of sort of the norms, gender norms, basically LGBT undertones and themes to it. So it's very progressive for its time, especially in the 90s where we got some pretty bad really LGBT representation and stuff of that nature in anime, which is a bit sad at the time. So
Right.
A lot of erasure stuff, but this one's full force. Full forces and pony punches, and it's a really good anime. I really enjoyed it from what I've watched of it. But yeah, the game's the 4 cycles. You can get several different endings depending on your loyalties that you have. So depending on what loyalties you have built up, you'll get different endings or interact with different characters. Like one ending is that that Utena dies in the battle with Chigusa in her fencing club. There's definitely a couple different themes. It wasn't as popular in the United States, but it's still pretty heavily inspired and very famous among people that are big into anime.
And it is
Especially
a dating, like full-fledged dating sim as well as a RPG, right?
Yeah. In some natures, it's kind of weird. It's sort of like a semi-dating sim.
Oh,
so
okay.
Hang with people. It's kind of weird how to consider it. It's not like you go out and you marry people, but there's definitely situations you can get into, and you could probably see that in my live stream of it I did 2 years ago, I believe.
The anime stream. Yeah, that was already like 2018, maybe 2019.
19. I was in my new house.
So talk about who brought us this game via English translation.
It was a small really a small translation team that I don't know, Peter didn't really mention much about them, or I couldn't find any info on them, but around 2015 about 5 people sort of went together and translated and patched this game, and that was the last there was the first and the last patch in September 2015. The only things that aren't translated is the names of the characters. So if you scroll down to where they're talking about that, you can see like the journals aren't some of the journals and the lyric books aren't translated, and some of the names of the characters are not translated mostly because they're probably image files.
Right.
So that's really the only thing that wasn't translated per se. So, but it's it's pretty much fully translated. So if you want to play it, you can enjoy it and see the craziness of the game, because it can get pretty insane, for sure.
I like Peter's taglines. Tighten your bras, gamers. We're going in.
Yeah.
His headlines.
Definitely. Yeah. Peter is a wonder with words, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah. Sorry, what were you saying?
Oh no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's amazing what he did with this article.
Mm-hmm. And he always gives his SHIRO challenges, which I really like. So if it wasn't enough to just go play the game, he'll always give you like some things that you might want to do in the game. The game sounds even remotely interesting, fascinating. You might consider doing yourself a favor and watching the anime first. So that's like the first thing. Both subbed or dubbed versions can be found on YouTube. And by doing that, you'll definitely immerse yourself and give yourself more context when it comes to like playing the game. He mentioned that a couple times, that watching the anime definitely enhanced his enjoyment of the game and his understanding of like all the characters and what's going on, because if you're just jumping into this like as a import Japanese game, you have no idea, you're not like invested in these characters, it might just be a little harder to get going with it. Whereas if you watch like Pat said, watch the anime, you can just like get right into it.
Yeah, and there's a lot of cool stuff that comes with the game as well, like if you buy it. So
multiple endings.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I was looking at that. I jumped ahead a little bit, but yeah, no, it's worth watching the anime. You don't exactly have to watch it, but you'd be less confused if you did. Because when I did that playthrough in 19 or 18, I didn't know what was going on, so I was confused. So maybe if I watch the anime, I'd be like, oh, I know these characters. I know what's gonna happen.
Right. Extra badges to collect aside from the initial ones. So some to unlock, and then once you've watched the anime, read the manga, and play through the Saturn game, go out there and bring the world revolution. Peter.
Yes.
He's classic sentimental. Anyway, so thank you Peter for writing this amazing article. I don't know how. Wow, it keeps going. I don't know how you did this while you're doing university and everything else, so it's just amazing. And Peter has apologized that his output is not as much as it used to be, but that whenever he does anything, he does it all the way, and so his articles are just certainly some of the best reading online, not to mention Saturn related stuff. So go out and check out this article for sure.
Yeah, and play the game. It's a lot of fun, and I think you'd really enjoy that.
I really want to. I mean, I want to play some of these games so much, but I'm like, I really need to find a good chunk of time so that I can. That's why I'm.
You can beat that in about an hour or so. That playthrough, I think I did 2 playthroughs of it.
And you beat the entire thing in an hour? Reading all the dialogue?
Yeah. Well, not reading all of it, like 100%ing it, but I beat the game. Like I got the 2 different endings, I believe.
Okay, you must be like either really familiar with it or speed reading. Because like with me, I like take those things so slow, but so there's no like battling or anything like that. It's just mostly visual novel, right?
Pretty much.
Cool. All right. Well, yeah, now I, even more reason to check it out if it's like that, and I could get through it in like an hour or 2 hours. Then again, I might just go watch Pat's stream. I didn't realize you had finished it in that stream, so I might go check that out.